Mercedes has decided to finally pull through with making changes to the W14. The previous iteration left both drivers and bosses disappointed, considering how far behind they are from the seemingly insurmountable challenge that is Red Bull's RB19. But F1's budget cap may pose problems for the Silver Arrows, who are currently producing two versions of the car in case one doesn't work. We have all the latest details about the W14's development waiting for you in today's video, so keep your eyes on the screen. Toto Wolff, the head of Mercedes, faces additional challenges due to the budget cap that restricts the amount his team can invest in enhancing their vehicle. Despite their previous struggles with the zero-pod design in 2022, the Silver Arrows have decided to pursue it again this year. In case their performance falters, Mercedes has reportedly developed an alternative aero package resembling that of the reigning champions Red Bull, as stated by Sky Sports pit lane reporter Ted Kravitz last month. In the budget-capped world of F1, creating two distinct aero designs for the upcoming season could have consequences. Mercedes will probably have less money to allocate towards improvements as the championship progresses. As a result, drivers Lewis Hamilton and George Russell may face a challenging season with a W14 that appears to lag behind Red Bull and Aston Martin. When asked about his team's most significant obstacles, Toto Wolff was questioned about whether the budget cap is one of them. He explained, "I think the budget cap, in a way, has more positives than negatives, but obviously, if you're on the back foot, like we are at the moment, it doesn't allow you to build a second chassis. But I think our fundamental problem is not building a second chassis or throwing stuff at the car. It's more about a direction that we've taken that's wrong. And I think when we change it now, that's going to be limited by the budget cap, but not in the way that you would expect, like we're not able to develop." Wolff acknowledged that the budget cap will limit the pace at which Mercedes can improve, but he is unwilling to employ it as a justification. "We're still able to develop, but it will mean we need to spend time on a new concept, on new ideas, and we need to discontinue the old one," he added. "So, in the short term, it could mean you make a step back before taking two forward. But these are the rules. They've been introduced exactly for the reason to put the field stronger together, which will eventually happen. I mean, Red Bull is showing us that if you do a good job, you can outperform everybody else. But for us, these are the rules, and we need to still do a better job." During the initial two races of the 2023 season in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, Mercedes has yet to achieve a podium finish. Toto Wolff has been highly critical of his team's performance thus far and has even seemed to surrender any prospects of Mercedes winning the championship. Nevertheless, F1 pundit Eddie Jordan believes that the responsibility for his team's decline falls more on the shoulders of the Mercedes boss. Speaking to OLGB, he said, "We saw the Mercedes car was poor last year, porpoising up and down, but they've eradicated some of that. Lewis Hamilton is a 7-time world champion who has a really impressive teammate in George Russell who has beaten his expectations so far. I'm critical of Toto Wolff, of how he criticized his engineers and how they took their eye off the ball. It's all been done under his watch, so it's his responsibility. The book starts with him. Wolff should face the criticism like a man, like a team boss, like a chief executive, and face up to the fact that Mercedes have got it wrong." After deciding to switch directions, Mercedes has discussed the potential positive outcomes of its CFD and wind tunnel research, which it anticipates releasing in the beginning stages of the European season. Although some of the initial changes Mercedes intends to make will center on the side pods, the ultimate transformation will encompass more than just that, involving factors such as the team's setup window and ride height. As the majority of the grid appears to be gravitating toward the Red Bull downwash concept that conforms to the current regulations, it is probable that Mercedes will follow suit, although not necessarily by replicating it exactly. While Mercedes previously believed that its most excellent chance of being the fastest in F1 was by introducing its own design concepts, Wolff indicated that the crucial decision now is to pursue the route that yields the best outcomes. Therefore, if that entails embracing the Red Bull design, he affirmed that the team will do so, even humorously proposing that he wouldn't mind affixing one of his competitors' stickers on the vehicle as recognition. Wolff said, "I think at this stage, we have no dogmatism of how the car should look like. It just needs to be the quickest possible race car. And if that car looks like a Red Bull or like SpaceX, I don't care. It just needs to be quick. And if it's Red Bull, we will put a little Red Bull somewhere with a sticker, and I will have no shame if it's quick." According to Wolff, the experience of Aston Martin, which opted to pursue the Red Bull path instead of its own original concept at the outset of 2022, demonstrates the possibility of achieving advancements following a shift in direction. Definitely what Aston Martin has done proves that, within 6 or 7 months, you can gain so much lap time that it makes you play very much at the front. So that is good to see. It is good to see for all of us that you should never write off a season if these kinds of steps can be done. Although the side pods have been a primary focus of attention in the new direction, Wolff asserts that the crucial aspect is the comprehensive strategy concerning the car's location on the track and its configuration. I think the biggest changes that we made is actually looking at where we want to have the car set up in its sweet spot. We've been too low last year, we've been too high this year, and now we believe we know what to land on. Obviously, everything else follows in terms of floor and bodywork that you want to achieve, so I don't want to sound too foolishly optimistic, but at least we see low-hanging fruit with things that are encouraging. Despite the team's decision to change direction, there is at least one Mercedes member who is unconvinced. Lewis Hamilton claims that incorporating Red Bull-inspired side pods onto the team's 2023 Formula One car would not enhance the W14 and may even impede its performance. He does not anticipate any significant updates from Mercedes that would alter the game. I think we have what we have, and we're going to continue to try to work on it and extract more from it, and we'll see how quick that can happen, or whether that's possible with the concept we have. And then in the short term, we will start to find out whether or not we've got to make loads of big, drastic changes. I mean, there are drastic changes, which we will do. People keep talking about getting the new side pods on the car, but it's not as simple as that. You put the Red Bull side pods on our car, and it won't change a thing. It literally won't change a thing. It might even go slower. It's about aero characteristics. It's how the car is balanced through the corners. There's so many different elements that people, of course, would not know because they're not aerodynamicists, and you can't see it. There's a lot more to it. Is this the start of a Mercedes resurgence this season? Or will the team regret not listening to Hamilton once again? Only time will tell. In the meantime, share your thoughts on the W14 down in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.